Hello, welcome to Doing It Live with Time Aces and Bat Snacks.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to our first official episode after a poor test episode last week.
Which may or may not be released as
Probably not.
Yeah, most likely not.
So, in this show, we talk about entertainment news, pop culture stuff, and then what's going on in our lives. And then we talk about stuff we like, basically.
Yeah.
Play some games.
Things and stuff.
Things and stuff, generally speaking. So, I'm Time Aces.
My name's Bat Snacks.
And, yeah, this is a podcast. So, first, let's start off with what's going on in the news this week. The big story this week is...
what's going on in the world these days?
The big entertainment story this week is Suicide Squad and how it's getting, completely blasted in reviews.
But I'm going to go see it.
You're going to see it anyway.
Yes.
It's at a 25% or some ridiculous number on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, I think that's better than Warcraft did, which is the last movie I saw.
I don't know. I think it's close to Warcraft. Do you only see movies if they're lower than 30% on Rotten Tomatoes? Is that your rule?
It seems that way.
Yeah, because you didn't see any of the good movies this year, and instead you saw Warcraft, and you're going to see Suicide Squad.
Well, I mean, can you really say that Batman vs. Superman was good, or...
No, but that was also, very poorly reviewed.
Yeah.
But, you should have saw that one to complete the trifecta of bad movies this year, honestly.
Yeah.
But instead of seeing all the good movies this year, you're like, I'm going to see the really bad ones.
Oh, well. I have hope that it will be good, and not that it'll be good, that it'll maybe be entertaining.
I've heard it's sometimes entertaining. So good luck. I'm not going to see it because I'm not going to waste my money or my time on that movie. Because it looks really bad. But you tell me please let me know if it's worth seeing.
We'll definitely, we'll give you guys an update.
Thank you.
If it's worth updating on.
Thank you. Please do.
Otherwise, we can just forget this ever happened.
No, I will ask you for an update next time.
And I'll either say something or I won't.
Or you'll just plead the fifth and be like, nothing happened. That's it.
Yep, I didn't actually go see it. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So Suicide Squad, getting blasted. The other thing in the news, it's been in the news for a while. You probably don't have any idea what's going on because you don't follow this as much as me. But the new Nintendo console, there's all these rumors swirling around what it's going to be. Have you heard about that at all?
No.
No. So, there are people out there that are leaking a lot of information that basically think that the upcoming Nintendo console is going to be like a handheld console hybrid kind of deal.
Yeah, Dad works at Nintendo sort of thing.
Well, I mean, there's a little more credible rumors than that, but...
Uncle?
Yeah, Uncle. That's a good, Uncle. Or great aunt or something like that, you know? Like my second cousin twice removed. No, but there's been a lot of them, and I think Eurogamer or something published like a legit site published an article about it. So people are actually considering it to be a true thing. And I know you haven't owned a console in a long time because you PC game mostly, but
not a new console, yeah.
So what's your first impression? Because see, this is getting your impression at first blush.
My first impression would be that maybe Nintendo should consider selling the rights to their games to maybe Microsoft and stop making consoles and just focus on games and make a lot of money on the...
a terrible idea. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean...
Microsoft would be the last person I would want.
Or Sony, or...
That would be the last person, too. All right, we're done with this because you're going to make me angry. This news update.
Sorry.
It's fine. I just wanted to get your first impression.
Does it look good? Does the console look good?
No one knows what it is. That's the thing.
But, I mean, you said there were rumors. Are the rumors being recepted with positive reactions?
The rumors are interesting because the rumors basically say that you can, play it like a, Game Boy or whatever. It's a portable thing. But it's also, docks to your, TV and, has more power or something there. So it's supposed to be a very powerful handheld console that, that's portable, but also you can play on your TV. So it's kind of interesting, an idea. So I don't know.
As long as the controller feels good.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Like, I don't want to be holding a Game Boy while I'm sitting at home.
Why not?
I mean, not
because it's not 1988 or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense. So that has been the news segment. I guess we'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing lately? What's going on with you?
Well, I guess you found out I shaved my head.
You did. I did. I was talking to your sister, and she told me you shaved your head, which is funny because we talked yesterday and like recently, and you made absolutely no mention of shaving your head.
It's just not something I think about, I guess.
You didn't feel the need to let me know. And
yeah.
By the way, shaving your head, for those at home that are listening, they don't know what you look like. So they didn't know you have very long hair.
Yeah.
So shaving your head is a very large step in the opposite direction.
Oh, but is it really, though?
I mean, yeah. I guess I see what you mean. Like, you go from long to shaved. You're doing the two extremes, I guess.
Yeah. Long hair is just a lot of work, and it's messy.
It's hot.
And it's hot.
It is hot.
And
every summer I think about cutting my hair because my hair is long.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, it's so hot and shitty and So, exciting.
So what have you been up to lately?
Well, I think I recently told you I marathoned the new Netflix show Stranger Things. So
yeah.
And I'm kind of obsessed with it a little bit. It's really
okay.
Good. So I recommend you watch that.
Yeah, I need to get on that so we can talk about that.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's really, 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 really good. I might be hyping it up too much, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. Just deal with it. It's really good. It's a good show.
Yeah, I'd be really excited about any good sci-fi show.
Yeah, it's sci-fi. It's got a lot of mystery. It's very like 80s. It's grounded. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's really good. It's just really good. It's really good. Watch it, and we'll talk about it next time because I can't find enough people to talk about it with. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but yeah.
Are there like good characters, like good character development?
Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of the most important thing in a TV show to me.
The characters in Stranger Things are probably some of the best in television. Period.
Wow.
I mean, they're very tropey, right? Like they have a lot, like they go by the tropes.
That's okay.
But they do it really well. Like I think a lot of the criticism from the show got is like it's not super original because they use a lot of tropes and they use a lot of like what's done in the past and they kind of put it all together. But they do it in such a way that it works really, really, really well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just they take things that they know that people enjoy and they put them together and make them really good. So I mean, the characters are they're really good.
Yeah, a lot of my favorite shows are that exactly, like Star Trek, Firefly.
Yeah, just an amalgam of kind of genres and other inspired by other movies and shows and stuff. And it just works really well together. So that's how I describe it. But it's really good. I would recommend watching it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, not a whole lot. Just chilling at home.
Yeah,
waiting for the heat to die down.
So are we ready to transition into
the game of the week?
Game of the week.
The game of the week. That's the official title for this segment.
Game of the week.
Game. You have to say it like that though, like a computer.
Game of the week.
No, more like a.
Was that good?
Do it like a future game show announcer.
Game of the week.
No, not a robot. Have you ever seen Running Man?
Yeah.
Do it like that. Do it like.
I can't do that.
do it like that. Well,
you do it.
I have to get ready though. Hold on. I have to think about
deep breath.
How should I start it? Welcome to the game of the week.
I'd buy that for $1.
That's RoboCop, but that's close enough. Yeah, we're good.
We did it.
Speaking of RoboCop, that might be a good segue into what the current. Well, let's go. What are the standings for the game? Because we keep a running tally of how good we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
In
I think you're winning right now.
Games. What is the score? You're the score master. So what do you got right
As
now?
the score master, I am happy to report that the score is currently 76-54, with Time Aces beating me.
Wow, I have quite the lead on you.
Yeah.
Almost a 20-point lead. 22-point lead. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I need to up my game.
I think this week's game a win this week is worth like 12 points. So
Wow, I need to make sure I win that.
yeah, so this is worth a lot this week.
Will we be tied? Does
no.
this tie it up?
No.
But
not even close.
Two wins at 12 points apiece might
well, who's
make me
to
win.
say how much the next week's game will be? But we'll see.
Yes.
That'll be, we'll decide that like 2 minutes before the podcast. That's fine. So
we have a new game this week.
Yeah, we do. Why don't you describe this new game?
So this new game is called the Infinity of Lists.
Yeah.
Pretty much how it works is we each make a best of or most favorite list, and then we argue about which list is the best one. And whoever wins is the winner.
Whoever concedes that the other person's list is better is the loser.
Yes.
It's really the best way to put it.
It's less about conceding. Like, there will be one list that is objectively better.
That's true. And it's going to be mine. I'm going to say
and it will
that
probably
right
be yours.
Thank
But
you for letting me know. I am ahead of you already, so.
Yes.
So what is the topic for this week's Infinity?
The topic for this week's game is Best Action Movie.
See, that is a really solid first time doing this game topic, I think.
Yeah, it's action-packed.
It is indeed action-packed. The top 10 action movies of all time, according to me and you, I guess.
All time.
All time. Your list is going to be really weird, isn't it?
No, it's going to be less weird than you think.
I think it's going to be pretty weird.
It might be pretty 80s.
First impression. My list is pretty 80s. Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right. So the game this week, Infinity List, best action movie, top 10 action movies. Who wants to start this? Should I start the running or should you start it? We'll start from 10. We'll go down to 1. We'll go in order, like you'll do 10, I'll do my 10, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Then we'll get to 1, and then we'll kind of recap all of them, and there it is.
Battle it out.
Battle it out, yeah.
All right, you go first because I introduced.
Okay. Well, and we should make a comment on every movie. I'll make a brief comment. So my best action films list, I'll just make a general comment. It's mostly 80s, 90s movies, a few 2000s in there, not very many though. But it's mostly 80s and 90s, it looks like, for me, just looking at it. Because that seems to be the heyday of those kinds of films. So, that being said, and my list is very like classic action movies.
Yeah.
It's very it's kind of the obvious list, if that makes sense. So, it starts with number 10, which is just a very obvious pick for an action movie, with The Matrix.
The Matrix.
The Matrix, which is my number 10 on the list. Which really kind of changed the game, I guess I would say, for action movies. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
that?
definitely.
When you say that?
Yeah, I would say that. I don't think, at the time The Matrix was released, I don't think people thought that it would be as big as it was.
Right.
I mean, I was sort of young and, wouldn't have known whether people thought that or not, but the feeling I get is that The Matrix did a lot better than people thought it would.
Yeah, and I think people weren't expecting such I don't think people were expecting the cultural impact The Matrix had.
That's a good way to put it.
And not just on action movies, but on sci-fi movies altogether. Like, it had a new way of doing action movies with its camera techniques and slow motion shots and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and then
bullet
it had
time.
Kind of this new, science fiction plot that's not really new, but it's new for movies. And a lot of people were like, "What?" And I think both those things combined really propelled the movie into where it is today.
It was a deep action movie. It had like philosophical elements with like I think it's Plato's allegory of the cave.
Yep. It was very much based on that. But there's a lot of shooting and punching.
There's a lot of guns.
So, if you don't like that stuff, it doesn't waste a lot of time on it. You can
There's some awesome martial arts scenes.
Watch people fight each other a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's my number 10. I think it's a pretty safe choice.
Okay.
So, yeah. What's your
Should
number?
I go ahead with my number 10?
Yeah, what is your number 10?
So first I'll make a comment about my list in general. Like yours, it is mostly 80s and 90s. There are I think there's just one in the post 2000s. There's actually one pretty recent movie
Is it The
that
Matrix?
might shock you.
Is it The Matrix?
No, it's not The Matrix. The Matrix was not very recent.
It was 2000 something.
My number 10
Yeah.
action movie was Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. Oh, that's not even on my. Well, I won't say it. Oh, I just did. That's a
Oh,
good
too
choice,
bad.
though. That's a solid choice.
Yeah, I
Now-
really like Kill Bill. I like samurai movies, and I like Quentin Tarantino, and I really like all the actors in that movie.
Do you consider the volume 1 and 2 to be kind of one movie then, or
That's a really good
isn't
question.
that a good question? See,
All right, there are things that I like about the first one and the second one, and yeah, but on my list, I'm just gonna say top 10 is Kill Bill number 1.
yeah, I like number 1 better than number 2.
Yeah, number 2 has a lot of it is closure, like
Yeah.
kind of closing off the series, resolving loose ends and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
And I think there's more action in the first one.
Yeah, number 1 is just balls to the wall, like
Yeah, her just
action.
going around doing those epic duels with all
killing
of those
people. That's a
ladies
good choice. Yeah, and that
and the one guy.
awesome scene with like she fights like 100 like people. In
Yeah,
the
that was
dojo
there were
or
so many
whatever. Yeah, it's
good
crazy.
scenes in that movie. I really like the siren sound whenever she meets one of the
Oh yeah,
legendary
whatever.
opponents.
Yeah, that's good.
Woo!
This is a
That
good
was really
homage to like kung fu movies too.
Yeah. It had
enjoyed
a
it.
lot of really good throwbacks to old kung fu movies.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's my
all
number
around
10.
really good movie.
Yeah.
All around really good movie. Yeah. So, yeah, very good choice. I didn't even think of Kill Bill. I mean, I should have, but I did not. But that's okay. Matrix and Kill Bill. So we're starting with like early 2000s action movies.
And
That's
you know,
interesting.
those two movies would probably be on a lot of people's, top 5 lists for action movies. So I can't wait to see.
I know. Aren't you
What's
excited
coming
to
up on
see
these
what's coming
lists.
next? So should I do my number 9 now?
Yeah, let's do number
So
9.
let me preface the rest of my list with, I have some duplicates, and what I mean by duplicates is like you'll see what I mean. But this
What do
next,
you mean? What do you mean?
you'll see when I say you this when I tell you this entry, you will understand exactly what I mean.
Okay.
So and you're probably gonna roll your eyes. That's okay. So my number 9 film on action movies is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the third one in the series. Now, do you
Is it
understand?
really an action movie?
It is totally an action movie.
I mean, yeah, there's a ton of action in it, I guess.
Yeah, there's a ton of action, but it's not an action movie. It's absolutely an action movie. It's an adventure action.
It's an
adventure
action adventure movie, yes.
movie. But it's an action movie. For
Okay,
sure.
I'll give it to you.
So, Last Crusade is not my favorite Indiana Jones movie,
Yeah.
but it is really good, and I think they have like the most fun stunts and stuff.
It has one of the coolest scenes in any of the Indiana Jones movies, the very end when they're drinking from the chalices. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite scenes from Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah. When they have to choose.
Yeah,
the right
when
chalice.
he has to go through the gauntlet, dodge all the blades, and get to the final Knights Templar guy and choose the right chalice.
Yeah, I agree.
That is so cool.
That is cool, and they have all the trials where he has to like jump over the thing and
Go through the invisible
dodge
bridge.
the thingy, and on the invisible bridge. Spoiler alert: invisible bridge.
Oh, sorry guys.
So the thing about Indiana Jones 3 that's kind of funny is like it's definitely an action and adventure movie, but I think I like it not for its action. I like it more for its, I don't know, otherness. I guess it's like characters and story and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You know what
cool
I mean?
mythology
So
references.
I guess it's kind of unfair that I have it on the list because I don't have it at number 9 because like, oh, this is the most exciting movie to watch. But I have it at number 9 because I just love Indiana Jones so much. And 3 is kind of like it's just like a fan service movie. I mean, basically,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
you loved 1 and 2, so here's 3 with Sean Connery, and you're like, oh my God, Sean Connery. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is, and honestly.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my number 9. Might not be the best choice, but I just love Indiana Jones so much that I have to put it on there. And they had some good. I mean, they had some good action set pieces in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the plane thing, the sweet blimp thing where they're like flying off the blimp and they're shooting down planes, and then they had the one with him on the horse and the tank.
Yeah.
They had some cool action set pieces in that movie. And then the best one is when they're escaping on the motorcycle, with the double. You remember that? And they're being chased by the Nazis. And
yeah,
then,
they tried to copy that in the Crystal Skull, I think.
They tried to copy that in every movie. And then Indy shoves the pike in the guy's motorcycle and he flips upside down.
And then the motorcycle crashes.
They had some really cool action set pieces in that movie. So, A for that. It's really cool. All right, so that's my number 9. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is the most recent movie on my list.
Okay.
It is starring Keanu Reeves. It is kind of a weird action movie. Mm-hmm. It's non-traditional. Mm-hmm. It is John Wick.
Oh, I never saw John Wick.
You really need to, especially now that it's on my top 10 of all time.
I know, I have to see it now that it's on your top 10.
I really want to tell you all the cool things about this movie. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what won't spoil it.
Keanu Reeves kills a lot of people. Is that...
Yes, he kills a lot of people. Like, a lot.
Okay.
The death count is totally ridiculous. But the cool thing about it is, have you ever seen that Christian Bale movie with, like, the gun fu and stuff?
Equilibrium.
Yeah. I thought the gun fu in that movie was kind of lame. Mm-hmm. This movie does that right.
It's a cool idea, though.
Yeah, if gun fu was cool and good and awesome,
it would be John Wick.
Yeah, it's John Wick.
Oh, okay, you sold me. I'll see that now.
Yeah, you really need to see it.
I like Keanu Reeves a lot.
There are a lot of headshots in John Wick.
That sounds good.
He purposely, every single person he kills gets a headshot.
Really?
He might shoot him in the chest first, but he always finishes.
Because you got to make sure they're dead.
Yes.
That's the rule.
Yeah, and I really like Keanu Reeves. I think he's one of the best actors.
I wouldn't go that far.
I think he's amazing.
Do you really think he's
No,
like
I
one
really
of the best
think he's
actors?
one of the best, yeah.
Have you seen Keanu Reeves in movies before?
Yes.
Are you sure?
He doesn't have a very big range.
No, he has no range. He has like the Keanu Reeves range.
But he does that really good.
Yes, he can play Keanu Reeves really well.
Extremely well.
He's really good at playing Keanu Reeves. Let's put it that way.
Yes. I really like him.
I guess it's someone like Schwarzenegger, though, right?
And
like
Christopher Walken and Bill Murray. None of them have range.
I mean, Schwarzenegger is really, really good at being Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I think it's similar to Keanu Reeves. Like, he's just really good at being Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Like, he has that down, that, like, action movie guy down.
Yeah.
So, I gotta see John Wick now.
Yeah, John Wick, good movie.
Good.
They're making a sequel, too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is getting a little old now, though.
He doesn't look it.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. He looks like he's the same age. He looks like he hasn't aged in like 20 years. But that's another discussion for a completely different time.
That's another discussion.
All right, so moving on. Let's just go back what we have. Mine was Matrix and Indiana Jones 3, and you had
Kill Bill and John Wick.
So my number 8. Speaking of Schwarzenegger. It's kind of a goofy pick. I'm going to admit this is the goofiest pick on my list.
Okay.
But my number 8 is True Lies.
Good movie.
Have you ever seen True Lies?
Oh, it's an amazing movie.
Yes. So it's an action comedy, but it's a really damn good action comedy.
Could you say it's sort of a romance, too?
Yeah, I would say it's sort of a romance. Action comedy romance movie.
I think that's a really big thing for Schwarzenegger.
He's really good at having action movies that are just a lot of fun to watch, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And True Lies is just a really fun movie.
Yeah, and I'm really glad he pulled off the romance angle, too.
Yeah, totally. And it's just a really fun movie,
Yeah, it's fun.
It doesn't take itself too seriously. It has bonkers action scenes where he's, like, on a horse chasing a guy through, like, a mall, and then, like, the guy jumps off the thing into a pool. Like, it's got crazy. And there's the one where he's on, like, a Harrier jet, and there's like a helicopter, and I don't know. There's crazy stuff going on in that movie. There's some crazy action stuff, and it's like a spy movie too, right? Because he's like a CIA agent or whatever. So it's like it's a bunch of genres put together, but it's really fun. It's a fun action movie. So that's my 8. That's probably the goofiest movie on my whole list.
So my 8, that's a good segue into my 8. It's kind of. It's not similar, but it's a similar kind of actor. My number 8 was Rambo: First Blood.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Mm-hmm. That was
Stallone.
my favorite Rambo. I think it was the best one
was
by
the first
far.
one, yeah. It was the only one that really made sense.
Yeah.
You know, once they got into like part 2 and 3, it was like, what's happening in this movie, in this series?
Yeah, there's not too much to say about Rambo. It's just, a guy with PTSD doing really badass things.
Doing badass things around town or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, in a little forest area next to a mall.
Yeah. And which is weird because like the rest of the movies, he like goes back to Vietnam or something. Like, have you ever seen the other Rambos? Like they just like make up reasons for him to like fight.
Yeah, to be Rambo.
Yeah, it's like what is happening? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
well, Rambo 1 is weird because it's like you said, it's like guy with PTSD.
Yeah,
like,
it's all domestic. It's actually really kind of messed up and deep. He's kind of a
terrorist a little bit,
Yeah, and it's kind of like sad and deep and terrible, but it's also really exciting to watch him do all the cool stuff.
Yeah, that's a solid pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Rambo. I like the first one. The second one's okay, and then I don't know what happened to that series after that. Really,
just stick with the first one.
They just put Stallone in like a jungle, and then took his shirt off, and they're like, "Go, just shoot things with this big gun," kind of thing. So, anyway, that's Rambo, I guess. But yeah, similar to Schwarzenegger, like Stallone's just really good at
being Stallone. Have you ever seen Cobra?
I have not seen Cobra.
If I were gonna make a
what is Cobra?
Cobra is Stallone being Stallone, and that's the whole movie. There's no plot.
If you were gonna make what?
It's just Sylvester Stallone being Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, I like
ridiculous
the poster. I like the poster.
Yeah,
of Cobra.
It's amazing.
It's cool. This is a cool This is a very 80s poster.
Yeah, it's a very 80s movie. I would say it's the most 80s movie.
This looks great. I need to see this.
If I made like a top 10 not good action movies that are actually good, Cobra might be number 1.
All right, I need to see this because it looks really good. Look, like really, really, really good.
Yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's just action.
All right, so let's move on.
Yes.
From Stallone. So I'm at my 7, right? Is that where we're at now? I believe.
Yeah, we're at 7.
So my 7 is another Indiana Jones movie because my list
is
full of them. It's Temple of Doom.
You have all 3 on your list.
I do have all 3 on my list.
Dang it. That's not fair.
It isn't, but it is fair.
Okay.
So Temple of Doom is my second favorite Indiana Jones movie and my first favorite Indiana Jones movie in my heart, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first one I remember seeing when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has the most ridiculous of all the action sequences in the series.
Mm-hmm.
The guy takes out a guy's heart. Indiana Jones fights a million people bare chested.
It's very Pulp Fiction.
It's very Pulp Fiction. It's like an adventure book from the 30s with like a guy that just fights a lot of people with his fists.
Yeah.
And it's not as complex as the other two, but it's very
it's a lot darker than the other two.
It's a lot darker, but and he's just fighting he's not the other two are more oh, I'm a professor and I do things,
Yeah.
He's definitely brash in the other two, but in this one he's just punching people and that's it. It's the whole movie. It's him punching people a lot. And it has the best opening sequence, I think, in any movie ever. Do you remember the opening sequence of it?
That's not the one with the taking the monkey head off the thing and
that's in Temple of Doom, but that's later.
Okay.
So Temple of Doom opens completely irrelevant to the rest of the movie when he's in Shanghai or something. I don't remember where. Some town in Asia. He's in Shanghai. He's at a nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
And he's making a deal with some evil mob boss.
Yeah.
And there's this gun battle in the middle of the thing, and because he got poisoned. And there's this whole crazy set piece where he's trying to get the cure to the poison while the mobsters are shooting at him, and he has to take this girl along with him because he got her involved in it accidentally, and then he jumps out the window into a car, and then they drive away, and then they get on a plane, and then they have to the plane goes down, and then they have to jump out of the plane from a raft that they use as a parachute, and then they're in India all of a sudden, and then the movie actually starts.
I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
See, you need to see it just for if you just watch the first 20-30 minutes, it's its own little mini movie, and it's really entertaining. Like it's just all action. It's all action, and it's really entertaining.
I remember reading a while back that the explanation George Lucas gave for Indiana Jones, aside from Donald Duck, was that it was based on the fiction he enjoyed in 3 different decades. I don't remember which decade it started in, but it went from Raiders of the Lost Ark, I don't remember what that was based on,
I see what you're saying.
to the Pulp Fiction era decade.
Which was Temple of Doom.
Yeah, and then to the whatever came next. I don't remember exactly
I think I see what you mean.
what it was about.
Because Last Crusade is more like almost, not a detective-y thing, but it's definitely more like 40s or 50s kind of style. Like it's more subdued. Yeah,
and then
interesting.
The reason for... I this might be offensive to you, but The Crystal Skull. I don't know if you like to talk about that movie.
What movie are we talking about? I've never heard
The Crystal
that.
Skull. The explanation for that was that the decade following The Last Crusade was the UFO era, and that's why George Lucas did that.
Oh.
At
well,
least
good
that's what
for
he said.
you, George. Good for you.
Good
Crystal
job,
Skull is my number 1 on this list.
It better not be.
I'm just kidding.
We will delete this episode.
You will automatically win if that's true.
Oh, no, I'm okay with that. Okay, so if Crystal Skull is your number 1, then I
Then you
instantly
just
win.
By default.
Okay, so my number 7.
Okay, go ahead.
My number 7, the person in this movie is one of my favorite actors, and he made a lot of movies, and they're all really good, but if I had to pick one, it's this one. It's Jackie Chan's Police Story 3, Super Cop.
Oh, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I think it's his best movie. It has the most insane stunts.
I've seen Police Story 3.
They probably all run together.
They kind of do.
But this one had the most insane stunts probably in any movie ever. He risked dying every single minute in that movie.
Yeah, he
kind of
does that in every movie.
Yeah, but this one especially. There's a scene where a girl in the movie drives a motorcycle off of a ramp, a real motorcycle, and lands on a real moving train. You can only do that in China. That would never happen.
Oh yeah, I've seen this movie. It's super
in America.
Yeah,
it's super good.
This movie has ridiculous stunts in it, if I recall. Completely batshit nuts.
Yeah, and the reason
you would not be allowed to do these stunts.
No, never. The reason it gets number 7 on my list is because unlike a lot of other action movies, pretty much everything that happens in Police Story happened in real life on the set.
No. Oh, you mean stunt-wise?
Yeah, stunt-wise. People risked dying for all the stunts.
They didn't, fake it, really. They're
No,
you're jumping off this thing right now, Jackie. Okay.
Yeah, Jackie could actually fall off a building and die.
I love Jackie Chan.
Yeah, he's amazing.
If I had to find, one person I want to, cryo-freeze, I'd probably choose Jackie.
Yeah. Jackie Chan would be a good pick.
Because, he's not going to be able to do his karate forever.
Yeah.
But I want him to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they need, and by they I mean whoever, needs to remake every single Jackie Chan movie, or at least fund it, and have him direct all of them. Just remake every single one of them.
So who would be Jackie Chan? Who would be Jackie Chan's character?
Some up-and-coming Chinese athlete. Yeah.
He would Jackie Chan would hand select them.
Yeah. I know in China, I think their national sport is called Wushu, and I think that's what Jackie Chan used to do.
It's so he would just pick someone.
Yeah, he would pick someone that did that, and it would have to be a no name.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
He was.
I would be on board with this because that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Because a lot of modern audiences aren't familiar with Jackie Chan I don't know. Rush Hour. Before he started doing the American movies, he had a lot of movies in China that were all really good. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not all really good, but there were a lot of really good ones.
Yeah, and they haven't exactly aged well because the quality of the film they used was really low, much lower by today's standards. Definitely not high definition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Police Story 3, Super Cop. That's my number 7.
That's a good pick. I didn't even think of Jackie Chan movies, but now that you're saying that, I'm going through all the Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah, I had to pick a Jackie Chan movie because he's amazing.
He's amazing. That's a really good pick. I'm kind of mad that I don't have the Jackie Chan movie on my list now. That's fine.
Okay, I'll let you do this. If you had to pick a Jackie Chan movie, what do you think it would be?
I don't know.
I was
They're all
thinking
really
also
good.
about Legend of Drunken Master. That one's real
Yeah,
good too.
that's like kind of the classic like
Yeah.
good Jackie Chan.
There's no
kung fu
firearms or
movie.
explosions in that
No,
one.
it's
It's
just
pretty
him
much
doing karate like kung fu like really
yeah.
well.
I think it's his best
Like
pure
it's
kung
the
fu
most
movie.
pure. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the first like non-American Jackie Chan movie I saw, so I'd probably pick that one.
Yeah, that one's good.
Anyway, Jackie Chan.
Yep.
Can't get enough of Jackie Chan.
No.
All right, so moving on to 6 then. I think it's my turn, right?
Yep.
So my number 6 is Aliens.
That's not fair. It's science fiction.
Why is that not fair? Aliens is totally an action movie.
I know.
You're
I
just
purposely
mad
left
that
it
my
off my
list
list.
is really good and yours is not.
I left it off my list because I thought it would be too science fiction.
No, it's an action movie.
I'm bad. Oh well.
It's not, if you look up what is your favorite action movie, I bet you like half the people say it's like Aliens.
They probably do.
Aliens is a really good action movie. I mean, it's a horror action movie, but it's still an action movie.
I agree.
You know how many things they kill in Aliens?
A
There's
lot
like
of bullets are
million-
fired.
There's a lot of bullets. Like if you judge an action movie by how many bullets are fired during the movie, Alien would be like in the top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of bullets in Aliens.
It's definitely a lot more action packed than the first one.
Yes.
The first one was more horror,
Alien is a horror
science
movie,
fiction.
and Aliens is an action movie. Now, Alien obviously is not on this list, but I like Alien more than Aliens actually.
You do?
I prefer the original. Yes, I do. Isn't that surprising?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do prefer the original, but I do like Aliens a lot, seeing as it is number 6 on my top action movies list. But we can talk about when we get to top sci-fi movies, then we can talk about Aliens versus Alien.
Yeah.
You know, that's another.
That's a big conversation.
I could talk about that for like an hour. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That is a big conversation. So that's my number 6. My second James Cameron movie on this list, because True Lies was also James Cameron. And it's just Aliens is a really fun, quotable action movie that is very scary, but has a lot of like fun elements to it. A lot.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Exactly. See.
Why don't you put her in charge?
Yeah. Yeah. That's Bill Paxton or whatever.
Yeah.
He makes that movie.
That was a really good role.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. All the characters in Aliens are really, really good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to remember the chick's name.
The big, strong,
The strong
Eastern
one.
European-ish, maybe Russian girl.
No, she's like Hispanic. I don't remember her name.
Hispanic? Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember her name, but Hudson, you know, Bill Paxton's character is like,
Yeah, he's good. The android was good.
yeah. But he has a line where he's like, I forget what it is. I don't remember. It's good. I swear. There's so many good lines.
All of his lines are good.
Yeah. So that's my number 6.
All right. My number 6 is another Tarantino movie. It's Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Pulp Fiction. That's a good
Pulp
choice.
Fiction. Yeah, you get kind of some of the best of Bruce Willis and Samuel L. And
Yeah.
I like kind of the disjointed storyline.
Oh yeah, the way they made that kind of come together. A very
Yeah.
unique way of doing it. And not a lot of movies really can succeed in that
Yeah.
kind of way. And another thing I really like about Pulp Fiction, a lot of characters that all get like enough screen time that you like know who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pulp Fiction's a good.
Yeah, I don't have like too much to say about that movie, but it's really fun to watch.
Yes.
It's like it's just fun to
The
watch.
dialogue is really good.
The dialogue is amazing. Action scenes are real good.
Really good. And
Lots of really cool characters.
Samuel L. Jackson's in it, and what the hell is his name? I always forget his name.
Bruce Willis?
No, the other guy.
John
Travolta.
John Travolta,
Yeah.
Uma Thurman.
So I mean, like it was like the '90s kind of stars of that era all got together and did like this offbeat action, almost comedy kind of movie, and
Comedy, kind of like drama, even a little bit,
yeah.
sort of.
It had a lot of genres going on.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, there's definitely action. There's definitely a lot of action. There's a lot of like kind of comedy and weird drama too, in a good way.
Yeah, the number one criteria that I picked that for was that it's just real fun to watch.
Yeah, true. It is a lot of fun. I think that's the best criteria. Like, even if this action movie might not be the most action packed,
Yeah.
as long as it's fun to watch, then I would say it's rises to the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, for action movies. Pulp Fiction, that's probably my favorite Tarantino movie. I'm trying to think. I don't want to spoil it. You might have another one on your list. So
no, that's all the Tarantino on my list.
Okay.
I don't know. I like a lot of his movies evenly. I like Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs. Mm-hmm. Did you see The Hateful Eight?
I did not. I have not seen it.
Okay,
yet.
we should. We can just. I'm not going to tell you, but
You're
you should see it.
not going to tell me if it's good?
But okay, it's.
I heard it was okay.
There are really mixed.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard mixed things about it.
If you really like Tarantino dialogue, you'll like the movie. But if you don't like, his style of dialogue,
I'm mixed on Tarantino dialogue though. Some of the movies that he's done, I'm like, wow, this is great dialogue. Some of the movies I've seen he's done, I'm like, wow, this is a little too much.
I didn't like Django. I thought
it was okay.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I thought it was one of his weaker movies, but I really like The Hateful Eight. It has amazing dialogue in it.
And Kurt Russell's in it.
Yeah, it has Kurt Russell, and he has an amazing beard.
I just realized a movie that isn't on my list that should be on my list after we talked about Kurt Russell.
Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that as an honorable mention.
It's not on my list. I really feel like I should change something. You know what? I'll retroactively say, instead of Last Crusade, I'm going to put Big Trouble in Little China.
I think that's fair.
As number 9. I really like Last Crusade, but Big Trouble is just a really funny movie. And it's a really fun movie. And Kurt Russell isn't even the hero in that. I mean, he is, but he's like his partner.
He's like guy. Totally unrelated to the plot.
He's like just the sidekick, basically, of that movie. It's so good.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
And there's all this crap happening around him.
And there's amazing things that happening.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what's happening? He just has like, sarcastic remarks every 5 seconds. Like, what the hell's going on here?
I'm so happy that movie got made, because nothing like that will ever be made again.
We could do a whole episode on how that movie got made, because I have no idea. To this day, I have no idea how that movie got made.
Yeah, I don't have the slightest idea.
That movie could never be made ever again.
Yeah.
Ever again. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. I think maybe, like, John Carpenter got really successful with, what was it, Halloween was his really successful movie, right? And the studio just, like, gave him a lot of money, and they're like, do what you want.
Just
like,
do something.
And then he's like, all right, I'll make Big Trouble in Little China. And they're like, okay. And then it didn't do really well, and a movie like that will never be made again.
But I'm happy it was made.
Oh, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy. But if you look at the plot of that movie today as a movie executive, you'd be like, why am I reading this?
You're like, what is wrong with you? I have no idea what I'm reading.
Exactly. I'm glad we got to Big Trouble in Little China. That's a really fantastic movie.
So I'd like to point something out.
Yes.
Our lists haven't overlapped yet.
No, that's really I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
I thought we would overlap a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe they will. Maybe there's some movies that I have that you have on your top 5, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that I was surprised you didn't have Aliens on your list, but you told me that you didn't count it. So
yeah,
there's that.
I was thinking too hard about it.
So we can. Did you do your 6 already?
My 6 was Pulp Fiction.
Okay, so we've made it to the top 5 now.
Yeah, this is the serious ones.
I'm very surprised we haven't overlapped. I'm thinking that we might overlap. I don't know if our top 5 will completely overlap. I doubt it will, but I do think a couple of those will overlap, and I do think a couple of the ones on one of our top 5 will be basically the others 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do you want to go first this time instead of me, or do you want me to continue?
I don't mind going first. We can switch it up.
Why don't you do your 5 then?
So, speaking of not overlapping yet, my number 5 is The Matrix.
Okay, so now we've overlapped already.
We've overlapped.
It's already happened. So your number 5 is my number 10.
Yes.
Cool. Good. I mean, we've already talked about The Matrix. It's a good, solid pick. Why is it your number 5, out of curiosity?
I think it, maybe for nostalgia purposes,
yeah,
I know it was one of the first rated R movies I ever saw, so it made like a really big impact on me. I spent a lot of time thinking about it very seriously.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about The Matrix, like we kind of touched on this earlier, but like it had the really good action, but then like deeper than that, it had like like a 12-year-old kid or whatever, however old I was when The Matrix came out.
Yeah.
Kind of a mind fuck too.
Yeah, that was.
So it's like, whoa.
That was totally mind blowing if you saw that when you were 12.
And you're like, yeah. So you're, it's just a crazy ass movie.
Yeah, it was like I didn't know you could do that with movies.
Right.
Before then.
Right. And you didn't, because you didn't know any better. And then you see The Matrix and you're like, what? Whoa. Do you remember how many home movie versions of The Matrix that we made?
Yeah. We spent a good long while.
A lot of time trying to recreate.
And you know what? We must have had a really good eye for cinema because we literally tried to copy every single innovation that the Matrix did. Like, we only picked the innovative scenes to copy.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
We didn't pick the ones that, like, are just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we picked the swooshing camera
The
one.
bullet time, yeah.
The famous one in the beginning where Trinity does the jumping kick thing and the camera... We tried to do that one, and we did it in, like, the most amazing way, right?
Yeah, one of us stood on an office chair.
On a chair or something, and the other person swiveled it around. Oh, man.
It was real good.
Some good times. I wanna find those videos and watch them again, because there's something to be said about homemade, 12, 13-year-old boys trying to recreate The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why The Matrix is so good, right? Because it's like it was copied, and like that sticks with you as a viewer. Like, wow, the way they shot it and the story and all that stuff.
All the super cool cyberpunk characters.
Yeah, and all the cool names like Neo and Morpheus.
Yeah, like that movie might have been why I like science fiction so much. I mean, I saw science fiction before that, but
sure, but like why you got into it, it could be, Like I kind of think the same because I wasn't old enough. When I saw it, I wasn't old enough to be reading a whole lot of science fiction before that. So
Same.
I mean that movie could have got me into it. It might have got me into the genre overall. Mm-hmm. If I think about it, So,
yeah. So my number 5 is The Matrix. Your number
really
10.
Good. That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
A really good pick. So my number 5 is Terminator 2. Do you have no thoughts on that, apparently?
I have a lot of thoughts on this
movie. Do you
movie.
not like Terminator 2?
No, they're all good.
Okay.
All of my thoughts on this movie are good.
Okay.
I think it has maybe the strongest female lead ever in a movie.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Linda Hamilton is
I know.
incredible in that movie.
She is really good. Terminator 2 is a really great movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know how much I could say about it because it's just really, really, really,
yeah,
really,
everything about it
really
is spectacular.
Good. It's a fantastic movie. Yeah, she's really good in that movie. Arnold's really good in the movie. Even the kid is really good in that movie.
Yeah.
The bad guy, I forget his name, is really good in that movie.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. Like, how many action movies have a good kid in them,
Yeah, not many.
Not many.
He was such like a 90s kid, too.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't care about what you have to say, like I smoke cigarettes and I have a motorcycle, like he was such a 1990s kid.
Do you remember his super 90s friend with the mullet and
yes, like in the beginning, he's only in like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. He was like his neighbor or school friend or something, yeah. That's just, oh man. That movie's just, I don't know. There's a lot of good, we can talk about the action all day because there's a lot of good action in that movie.
Yeah.
Like when they're on the motorcycle and Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's like shooting the bad guy with his shotgun, or like when they're in the elevator, where they're trying to escape the T-1000 in like the elevator shaft thing, and obviously the whole ending where they're like in the whatever.
Yeah, in the the iron melting plant or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But before that, the whole raid on the on
Cyberdyne office.
I mean, that's just a sweet ass.
Yeah, Arnold gets
sequence.
the chain gun and
and he shoots all the. He doesn't kill anyone, but he
there's
shoots
zero
all
casualties. That was so good.
It's just awesome, and he has like a grenade launcher or something too.
Yeah,
it's just such a good movie. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Okay, so spoiler about my list. I didn't list any sequels to any movies. If there was a.
Really?
Yeah. I purposely
so you don't have
didn't
Terminator 2 on your list?
Nope, it's not on my list.
Wow, I'm surprised. Terminator 2 is like a really good movie.
I think it is worthy of the top 10, but I purposely didn't want to do sequels.
Okay. I have a lot of sequels on my list.
Yeah, I elected to only do the best in the series if it made the list.
Well, what if the sequel's the best in the series?
Then you do the sequel. So,
Okay.
that's why I use
you don't
Police
think
Story
the
3.
sequel isn't okay? Fine.
I don't think the sequel is the best movie in the series.
No, I don't either. In Terminator, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't either, but I see where this is going. So we can talk about this when you get.
Yeah, it's
when
coming.
we get there.
Yeah, wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right,
Yeah.
so you're 5. Or no, you already did your 5.
Yeah, that's my 5. Wait, The Matrix.
What? Matrix, your 5. My 5 was Terminator 2.
Okay.
So your turn for 4.
So I am on number 4. This one's probably going to surprise you.
That's fine.
So Speed with Keanu Reeves.
Speed.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't even think about Speed, but I like Speed.
Speed I owned on VHS and used to watch, and it was, it was very exhilarating. It got your heart pumping.
It does. It's a good thriller. It's a really, really good.
You can't stop the bus. It's very
Keanu
action-packed.
Reeves, Sandra Bullock, and Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
As one of my favorite villains, I think, in movies. Dennis Hopper's bad guy, whatever the hell his name is in Speed, is just really fun. Bad guy, and he's not he's not like other bad guys where he has like this he has an evil plan, obviously, but he's not like wealthy or anything. He like lives in an apartment,
Yeah.
He's watching TV and he just happened to like do this one day because he doesn't like the police or whatever. Like that's it.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple movie, but what it does extremely well.
And when they jump the bus over the ravine thing,
Yes.
the whole movie is just really fun. And Sandra Bullock, that was one of the first movies she was in that. She was in a lot of those kind of police movies afterwards, but before that, she wasn't in a lot of those action-y movies, but that was her first kind of like.
Yeah, and I can't remember if Speed was before or after Point Break, but I think Speed was probably what made Keanu Reeves famous.
I think Speed was
Question
after.
mark?
I can look it up. I think Speed was after Point Break.
I think so too.
I think Speed was probably the like turning point in Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I didn't see it in theaters, but I feel like if you saw Speed in theaters in that time period, then it would have been just totally mind-blowing to you.
Well, so Keanu Reeves was in Bill and Ted, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was famous for that, but that was a comedy. Right?
Yeah.
And then he was in Point Break, and that was like an action movie. But Point Break did well, but I don't think it was as extremely well received as Speed was.
Yeah.
And then once he was in Speed, he became an action hero.
Yeah.
Like that's his like turning point. Okay, Keanu Reeves is an action guy now.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting choice just for that.
I'm just noticing that there are a lot of Keanu Reeves movies on my top 10 list.
There is only one Keanu Reeves movie.
I've got 3, and I've already gone through all of them, so no spoilers.
Oh wait, so you have
I have Speed,
John Wick,
Matrix, and
Speed.
John Wick.
Good choice. Okay, so I guess I'll do my number 4 now.
Yep.
Another sequel, Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior is my number 4. Yep. How do you feel about that?
I don't know how I feel about that. I
don't know how you
really
feel
enjoyed
about
the
that.
movie, but I don't know if I would put it on my top 10.
Well, it's on my top 10. It's on my number 4 because I like it so much.
It's
Because
a really fun movie.
If you think about it now, okay, it's not the best action movie ever because it was made on like a pretty small, not small, but small in today's standards for sure budget.
Mm-hmm.
And all the stunts they did just with real cars and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess the production of that movie was just so crazy.
It was a really different movie too.
Yeah, and it kind of, if you think about action movies, you have, in my mind, you have action movies before The Road Warrior and action movies after The Road Warrior.
Okay.
It might not be the best action movie, but like it really set the tone for action movies in general. Like they didn't really do car chases very, very well before that movie.
Yeah.
Like the best car chase before The Road Warrior was like Bullet, probably. And after The Road Warrior, it's just like, okay, this is this new bar of high octane action car movie or whatever. You know what I mean?
I really like Mel Gibson as an actor too.
Me too.
Yeah, I think he's real good.
And the other thing Road Warrior did is it basically didn't invent, but it basically set the stage for post-apocalyptic film.
It is
Like,
maybe the best one of those.
It is the progenitor of that entire, like, look, you know what I mean? Like, that style. Like, every movie that takes place in, like, the post-apocalyptic worlds draws from the Road Warrior, you know? Like, so it's a very, very influential movie.
Actually, I do really like that movie. That could have gone on my top 10 too.
Yeah, so maybe it's not on my top 10 because it's the best action movie, but I think it was a very influential action movie, I think. Like, it really did a lot of things that a lot of other movies copied.
Mm-hmm.
And it set the stage for a lot of video games are based around the concept of the Road Warrior.
Yes.
A lot of film, a lot of manga, a lot of comic books, you know?
Yes.
So, anyway, that's why it's my number 4.
A lot of very critically acclaimed video games are based on...
Like Fallout.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my number 4. The influential nature of it. So what's your 4?
Speed. I think we're in the top 3 now.
Oh, your top 4 is Speed, right? I forgot about that. Sorry, I forgot you were going opposite of me. So yeah, we've reached the top 3. We've only overlapped once, which is super duper duper surprising.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Only the Matrix so far.
I knew we were going to overlap on the Matrix, but I thought we were going to overlap on a couple others.
Yeah, so
but maybe we still will. So what's your 3 then? Let's go right into it.
My 3 is Predator.
Oh, Predator. That's good.
The first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Predator. I didn't even think about Predator.
Good.
It is really good. Predator is like... I think for me, I was going to either put Terminator 2 or Predator, and I chose Terminator 2. You know what I mean?
I think Terminator 2 is a movie I enjoy more, but I didn't want to use sequels, spoiler alert, so...
Yeah. Predator's a really solid...
Yeah.
I like Predator because it's very self-contained, you know what I mean?
It's self-contained, it's Arnold in the woods... A real jungle, you know.
He's just trying to survive this thing, you know what I mean? And that's really cool. Mm-hmm. You know, Predator's kind of like if the original Alien, like it's like Alien, but like an action movie version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, he's just in an environment, they can't really escape. And
they have
to
no idea what the threat is.
Yeah, they have to just figure it out as they go. And most of them die, and one of them survives, and that's Predator. And it's just a really straightforward action movie, and it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I love when I forget the dude's name, like the Indian guy.
Oh yeah, he goes like
so cool.
He throws down all his weapons and he cuts his like chest and then he runs into the forest. Like
such a good scene.
There are a lot of scenes like that in that movie that are just like so masculine and
masculine is a good way to describe that movie.
Butch and
it's a very
Arnold,
masculine movie.
Butch and Arnold do that arm wrestle handshake thing at the very beginning.
Yeah, that's a very masculine movie. That's the way to describe it. And
Jesse Ventura.
He's in that movie.
He went on to become governor, I think.
So did Arnold.
Yeah, there are 2 governors in that movie.
Wow, I mean, who would have thought when you saw Predator in 1987 or whenever it was released? You know, 2 of these guys would become governors.
I don't want to repeat Jesse Ventura's line that I really like in that movie.
Why is it?
It's about the chewing tobacco.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's a solid line.
I know what you're talking about. It is solid. There's a lot of good lines in that movie.
Yeah.
Kill me now, kill me. Do it.
This stuff will make you a sexual tyrannosaurus.
While he chews.
Yes.
And Arnold is just being himself.
Oh yeah, I like his roar in the middle of the jungle.
That was Arnold's like first action movie where he wasn't just like a big, strong guy. Like Terminator was obviously like his first big ass role, but like he was like a machine. You know what I mean? Like he played it very stoically. Like in Predator, he was like a character.
Yeah, he was a human being, a very strong, tough.
And I think Predator probably really launched, I would say, his like action movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe not Predator.
No, I think it was Predator because Terminator at the time I think was pretty experimental.
Yeah, it was low budget too.
Yeah, Predator was his. I think I read Arnold's novel for some reason. His memoir.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's important.
It was really good. But he said that he thinks that Predator was the turning point.
For him
Yeah.
as an actor. Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, Terminator definitely got him into the limelight,
Yeah.
but Predator, like, okay, this guy can actually act too. He's
Yeah.
not just a big muscle guy, you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously he got like Terminator 2, and he got all the other. He got Commando, and he got all these other 90s,
Running
80s,
Man,
90s movies.
True Lies.
A billion 80s movies
Yeah.
and 90s movies. Yeah, I gotcha. Good choice. Very good choice. So you want me to go to my number 3 now?
Yep, I think we're ready.
So my number 3 is Die Hard, the original Die Hard.
Nice choice.
And I like Die Hard just because it's very, like, similar to Predator, it's a very self-contained movie, you know. It's about a dude trying to survive a really bad situation, and he's got to use his brains and brawn, and that's pretty much it.
John McClane is a very real kind of person.
He's a really fun character.
Yeah.
You know, he's a real guy, but he's relatable. You know, and he's kind of sarcastic and you know, obviously it kind of launched Bruce Willis's action movie career.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, and Hans Gruber's a really good villain too.
Yeah.
So, Die Hard.
So is Die Hard your favorite Die Hard?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, mine too.
They really just got downhill after that one.
Yeah, Yeah.
The other thing about Die Hard is it kind of invented its own genre, right? Like it invented the guys holding up a place with one like guy that's the hero that's trying to,
Yeah.
you know,
He's
kill everyone.
he's infiltrated into the bad guy's
It
plan.
invented that kind of genre.
Yeah.
Like so, like you know, you have Die Hard, which is a cop in a building that's taken over by terrorists, and then you have like, you know, Air Force One is basically the same kind of movie as Die Hard, right? It's one guy against a bunch of terrorists that took over a plane. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they've made a bunch of those kinds of movies since, but Die Hard kind of invented that.
Yeah, it's a good formula, but Die Hard did it the best and first.
Yeah, but and people replicated that for me because it works so well, you know. And it's fun. The self-contained nature of it is fun because you don't have to like worry about pacing as much. You don't have to be like, oh, we need a lot of story exposition. It's like, okay, these terrorists are in control. Like, get to shooting, guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's an easy setup for an action movie. You know, so Die Hard.
Yeah, speaking of Die Hard, that's my number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So we did overlap really well on that.
Pretty close on that one.
That's good.
Yeah, I love Die Hard.
I love Die Hard too. So let's talk about Die Hard more because Die Hard is so good.
Yeah, that's my number 2 one.
So that's your number 2 and that's my number 3. Wow, that's good. What was your number 3 again? Predator.
Predator, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Die Hard. Oh, I just love Die Hard so much.
Bruce Willis is amazing.
It's a good Christmas movie too.
Yes.
We can talk. I mean, it's so good. I try to watch it every holiday because it's super good. See, you were kind of feigning that you didn't. Like, you were feigning that you didn't have Die Hard on your list.
Yeah, I was, but
You were.
no, I totally did, of course. I think
What
it
is
might be the best pure action movie ever.
I think I agree with you. Like, if I just wanted to sit down and watch a movie about a guy shooting other guys, I would watch Die Hard.
Yeah, same.
And it's so simple. It's so pure, you know? It's just like bad guys, good guys, fun hero making witty one-liners. The movie, you know.
The one good guy is alone versus
A bunch of bad guys.
bunch of bad guys.
Yeah. And the bad guys are fun though,
And the good guy just happens to be like this amazing all-American, like what is he, like a retired cop or something?
Yeah, like a detective.
He's like a detective, and then
happened
there
to
are
go
these
to L.A. that one weekend.
there are these foreign terrorists, and he has
From,
to
like,
fight them
Eastern
off.
Europe.
And, yeah,
Super good. A lot of good action. Like the whole movie is like an action scene. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. My favorite is probably when he's like he has the shootout in like one of the office
the glass
rooms. Yeah, and then that one's really good. But I was gonna think of the other one. There's like a guy with a machine gun that comes in, and he's like under the table, like scooting like under, and the guy's like trying to shoot under the table, and then he pops out of the back and like pops him in the head. Like it's just good movie. And then he gets his machine gun, and then obviously he ties that dead body up and sends him down the elevator, remember? And then says, "Ha Merry," or "Ho ho ho, I have a machine gun." Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Such a good movie. And then obviously the Hans Gruber, he's a really good villain too. like really, really good. So, what I mean,
And he tries to save him at the end, but he falls, of course.
right? Like he's the hero
He's
enough to be like, oh, let me try to save the bad guy, but then
But no, the bad guy does have to die because it's an action movie. Like,
but do you remember the scene where Hans Gruber is like pretending to be like another guy?
oh
Remember
yeah,
they meet up, and then Hans Gruber's like, "Oh, I'm just a regular American guy," and he
Yeah.
like pretends, and then for a little while, John McClane believes him, but then I think what happens is John McClane gives him the gun,
yes,
but he like unloads it first, and then
Yeah.
Gruber tries to shoot him, and he like it's like click click click, and then John McClane's like,
that was
I
I forgot
knew
about
it.
that scene. That's
Like,
so
I love
good.
that scene. That's such a good action movie scene. You're tense because you don't know he unloaded it, right?
Yeah.
You're like John.
John,
you know
why'd you
better
give
than
him the
this.
gun? What are you
Like you're
doing?
a better detective than this, John. And then you're like, oh, he's clever. So like I don't know. I like that for that. That kind of set the trend for like those clever moments. Like there's a lot of clever moments in action movies in like the 90s. They have a lot of those. I think Die Hard kind of. Because he's not just really good at shooting people. He's also, like, good at being clever.
Yeah, he's an expert detective, understands the criminal mind. And,
The criminal mind, exactly.
Has
It's
all
fun.
this cool stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Die Hard is a great, great movie. All right, so where are we at now?
What's your number 2?
So we're at 2 and 1, right?
Yep.
So your number 2 is Die Hard, and my number 3 is Die Hard. So my number 2 is Mad Max Fury Road.
Probably the best special effects ever? Question mark.
Maybe.
One of them.
I don't know. Yeah. I just really love that movie a lot. I've watched it probably like 50 times since it came out.
Really?
Yeah, I could watch it every day probably. I love that movie.
Yeah, that was a good
Really,
movie.
really fun. Doesn't ever slow down.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it a lot. It doesn't really waste any time.
Yes.
Like Die Hard's a very pure shooting action movie. Mad Max is a very pure chase action movie, I guess you could say, right? Like it's just a chase. That's all it is. It's just a chase, And they do it really well. And there's not really any downtime in the whole movie, and I really enjoy that part of it.
If I had one criticism of Fury Road, it's that I didn't like any of the characters.
I liked Max, and I liked Furiosa, I guess. I liked the mythology of Fury Road a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot about the movie too. But I like how it's an understated kind of mythology. Like it's not in your face. It's just kind of
There's
kind
no
of there.
plot, like character development, huge dialogue stuff.
I mean, there are character development, but it's not like in your face. It's just like implied, I guess, character development. And that's what I really like about it. Like it doesn't like the story never takes a backseat. Or sorry, the action never takes a backseat to the story.
Yes.
Which happens in a lot of other movies. And so like you're watching an action movie and you're like, and they're like going over the story and all this other shit, and you're like, I don't care, just get back to the action, And Fury Road doesn't really do that very much. I think it does it once, but that's just to build up like the final sequence or whatever, really. So that's why I like it a lot, because it's very, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it doesn't it knows what the audience wants, and the audience wants to see cars crash into each other and blow up and stuff.
Amazing visuals and set design and costumes.
Yeah, exactly, and special effects and cool shit. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's why I put it there.
Yeah, it definitely has an extremely high cool shit per minute.
Yes, exactly. It's a very
ratio.
high cool shit per minute movie. So
Yeah, I like that movie too.
all right, I think we reached number 1.
We're at number 1 now. All right, it's
you
The
ready?
Terminator.
It's the Terminator, the original.
The original The Terminator is my number 1 action movie.
That is kind of surprising.
Really?
Not surprising because I like that movie a lot, but I don't know if I'd consider it even an action movie, because it's more of a horror movie almost.
Is it?
I don't know. There's a lot of action, but
There's a ton of action. Yeah, I consider it more of it's a science fiction horror action movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that takes me back about that pick because the main hero doesn't do a lot of actioning in the movie. You know what I mean? They're just running away a lot.
Yeah.
But Kyle Reese, I guess, does a lot of actioning.
Yeah, so Kyle Reese is a good action hero, but he gets injured very early, and it's up to he's a good
action hero, but he doesn't he doesn't save the day really.
Yeah, I can't think of her name now. Oh no, Sarah Connor. It's up to her kind of to fill the role that he was sent to do, and she does an amazing. Like, she starts out as a waiter, and she ends the movie as this amazing, like, strong, powerful action woman who's gonna raise the leader of the resistance.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like obsessed with Sarah Connor. I think she's such a cool character.
She has a really cool arc, character arc. Like, it's such an interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's like she starts just a regular person.
Yeah, she's a waitress at like a diner.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's really insane.
And then a guy comes from the future, and he's like, "You need to come with me." And then the police tell her that he's crazy. He's like a schizophrenic, and then she agrees to go with him again because she has amazing instincts.
And then the Terminator appears, and
Terminator keeps appearing, trying to kill him.
I mean, that movie really changed everything. I would say, that was a movie that really changed the game of everything.
Yeah,
it kind of made science fiction cool again.
Yeah, it made science fiction really cool.
Like, before Terminator 1, I'm trying to think of other like cool science fiction movies that like the general populace liked. And the only ones I can think of is maybe Alien and maybe 2001, but again, 2001's a really art movie, you know? It's more of an art movie.
Maybe it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind before.
Yeah, that was science fiction, but like, again, that wasn't
like,
really cool.
That wasn't
It's
cool.
a really good movie,
yeah.
But it's like, that's more of like a drama, you know?
Yeah, Terminator was badass science fiction.
Terminator made like sci-fi like cool, you know what I mean? Like really cool.
They had these really... I don't think time travel was a huge thing. I mean, Back to the Future did it, but not like Terminator.
It wasn't a huge thing.
Yeah.
Terminator kind of made time travel cool, too.
Yeah.
You know? I like Terminator because it has a very, like... I like Terminator 1 and 2 a lot because it has a very, like... It doesn't explain the time travel, like, well, but, like, it kind of implies it and then makes you wonder, like, okay, how does this work?
Yeah,
it doesn't, like... It doesn't dwell on it. Like, it's just kind of there.
Yeah,
like, you have to just accept it.
There's no explanations for the time travel in the movie. You must accept that this is how... That this happened. And it's up to you to explain it to yourself.
Yeah, but it's a really cool thing to just accept.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't think a lot of movies could pull that off. You would have to wonder, like, hey, I want to know about this time travel in most movies that introduce time travel. But in Terminator, you're just like, it's so fast.
Yeah.
You know, like the Terminator's coming. You don't have time to think about time travel. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a really small part of the movie, but it's a big part of the story.
Yeah, like the implications of it are huge.
Yeah.
But it's not a big part of it.
Yeah, and there are only kind of like hints here and there about how it works. Like, you can't take weapons through. You have to go through naked because why not?
Right. And I love how it opens with the present day. It never goes to the future to show what's happening in the future.
Yeah.
It's always just like tough shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it might open with like a war zone or something.
The first one?
That might be Terminator 2.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is the one that does the future kind of vision.
But it doesn't introduce any characters or anything.
No.
It's just like, here's a glimpse of what's happening. All right, back to the present. You know what I mean?
It's just like machines running over skulls.
So I really like that about the Terminator franchise because it's just like, it's completely set in present day, but there's like this implied future that like you just have to wonder about, like what terrible shit is going on in the future. And I think that's a cool thing for movies to do because it forces you to use your imagination.
Yes.
And your imagination is a lot more interesting than whatever they could come up with as a vision of the future. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's my top movie. I think it has amazing characters, amazing story, amazing action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's got like the whole package.
Yep.
And it really changed science fiction. Like I said, like it made it a genre that people like. It made science fiction like a blockbuster genre.
Yeah.
In my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it made science fiction like a big blockbuster. If it weren't for Terminator, we wouldn't have stuff like You know, we wouldn't have stuff like Aliens. We wouldn't have stuff like The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah.
We wouldn't have stuff like The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah.
We wouldn't have all those other Arnold Schwarzenegger sci-fi action movies that exist in the world. You know, like sci-fi action movies became a huge deal in the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
You know? And those wouldn't exist if Terminator wasn't. Yeah. So.
And I think
we owe a lot.
It was Cameron, right? That was James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Yeah, that was. He took a big chance, I think, with Arnold Schwarzenegger because.
Oh yeah.
Before
he was an unproven actor.
Before Terminator, I think he was only in some kind of Hercules movie that was terrible.
He was in Conan the Barbarian.
Okay. Oh, actually, that movie was excellent.
Yeah, but he didn't have a lot of lines. He was just like, oh.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about Conan. But yeah, Cameron took a chance.
Was Conan after or before? I don't remember.
Cameron took a chance, blah.
Yeah, I was trying to think if Conan was
I need to look this up.
before or after
right
Terminator.
now.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was like right before. Yeah, it was right before Terminator.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Terminator was 84 and Conan was 82.
Okay.
Conan was like right before. But yeah, it was still a big chance because like he'd been in one movie and it was a movie that like he was just like a big weightlifter guy in that movie. I mean, he wasn't a weightlifter in Conan, but like he was just a big muscly guy, you know. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much Terminator did for action.
It's probably one of my favorite action movies to watch. Like if I just want to watch an action movie, that's probably the one I'm going to watch. All right, what's your are you on your number one?
I am on my number one. You can probably guess my number.
I know what your number one is. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
How did you know that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my number one action movie. It was the first. It was the first Indiana Jones movie I ever saw. It was the first. It wasn't the first action movie I've seen, but it was like the first one that I really remember as a kid. It has so many just fun action set pieces in it, and the characters are all really fun, and I don't think any movie has been made that's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It has a really good balance between like comedy and action and drama, you know, elements. It's like a really, really good balance. And I don't think a lot of movies they've tried to recreate that, but a lot of movies don't really, you know.
Yeah, the last time they tried, it was the Crystal Skull, and it didn't go
Right.
so well.
And I mean, after Raiders of the Lost Ark came out, a million different movies trying to copy it, and completely failed. And so I don't know. I just like it for. I mean, it's very different than like a Terminator, which is like more hardcore action. You know, Raiders is very lighthearted, action adventure kind of pulpy, you know, movie.
Yeah.
But the balance it strikes between like story and character development and just like fun action is really, really strong. And not a lot of movies I feel like do that really well anymore. Their movies are good at like choosing one thing and sticking with it. Like okay, we're gonna be a really dark, hardcore action movie. Like okay, we can do that. Or we're gonna be like a lighthearted, fun comedy action movie. Okay, we can do that. But balancing those two things in like an overall package kind of movie, I feel like doesn't really happen. Like it's either like a buddy cop comedy action or it's like super hardcore these days. You know what I mean? So that's why I like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, Raiders is an amazing movie. I think it's the best Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, by far.
By far. And I mean, yeah, Indiana Jones is like my favorite franchise for that reason, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's such a predictable number one for me, but it is still. So. Yep. But that being said, James Cameron is probably the best action movie director in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's just really good at making action.
Yeah.
Because I have three of him. Like I have Terminator 2, Aliens, and True Lies all on my list. Because James Cameron's really good at that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. James Cameron is an amazing director.
That's my opinion. Well, not anymore. He's not. But.
Yeah. All right.
It kind of went the same way this Crystal Skull thing went. If you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. I don't know. Maybe something about getting
a lot of money.
A lot of money changes you.
Changes a man. You're like, I don't care about good stuff anymore. I'll just make whatever, and I'll make a lot of money and live in my
Or maybe
house in
it's
Hawaii.
just maybe we just don't get it. Like maybe we just don't get it. Maybe it's amazing and brilliant, and
maybe in like 30 years, everyone will look back and be like, Avatar was like the most amazing thing ever, right?
I mean, a lot of people think that, just not me.
No,
Just
no,
not.
nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that.
Okay.
I don't think anybody thinks that. But maybe in like 30 years, we'll look back and think it's like a classic, amazing movie. Maybe. I don't know.
I doubt
Probably.
it.
I won't think that, but somebody might.
I doubt it.
I don't know. So let's go over our list just real quick. Go through the top 10.
Okay. Should I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my top 10, I'm going to go from 1 to 10.
Oh.
Because we already know what they are.
That's
It's number 1's The Terminator. Number 2 is Die Hard. Number 3 is Predator. Number 4 is Speed. 5 is The Matrix. 6 is Pulp Fiction. 7 is Police Story 3, Super Cop. 8 is Rambo, First Blood. 9 is John Wick. And 10 is Kill Bill.
very nice. And my top 10, number 1 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 2 is Mad Max Fury Road. Number 3 is Die Hard. Number 4 is Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. Number 5 is Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Number 6 is Aliens. Number 7 is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Number 8 is True Lies. Number 9 is Big Trouble in Little China. And number 10 is The Matrix. So there we have it. And we only overlapped on 2 movies. Can you believe that?
Wait, which 2 were they? It was
Die Hard and The Matrix.
Die Hard and... That's amazing.
I am so surprised that we didn't overlap on more movies.
And you know what? I still think your list is really good, even though we didn't overlap.
And I still think your list is really good, even though we didn't overlap. Like, we both had very valid reasons for picking our lists.
But they were totally different.
But they were totally different, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think you slanted... It's kind of weird. Your logic is confusing, because you're like, I'm not going to pick Aliens, but Terminator is fine. Like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Arnold. It's Arnold. He's more...
I know it's Arnold, but I don't know. Like Aliens and Terminator 2, not on your list. But Terminator 1, oh, definitely. I'm not saying they're better or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you were saying, like, if you didn't know if you considered Aliens an action movie, but if you considered Terminator an action movie,
Yeah.
Aliens is definitely.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I was definitely thinking about it. Okay, so here's the logic. I was probably overthinking it, but I thought that if I wanted to pick a movie, I had to pick the best in the series and not pick any others in the series. And if I were to pick my favorite Alien movie, it's Alien. Do you know what I mean? And that's not an action movie.
I thought you said you liked Aliens better.
No, I like Alien a lot better.
Oh, because when I said I liked Alien a lot better, you were surprised at that comment.
Wait, you said you... oh.
Yeah, I like Alien 1 better than Alien.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I screwed that up. I misunderstood.
Yeah, we like, there was some point in the conversation you were like, what? You like Alien better? And I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Maybe you thought.
I was surprised because I thought you said you liked Aliens.
No.
That's why I was surprised. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if I thought you liked Alien better. Like,
I like
that's just
Alien
obvious.
a lot better than Aliens. Aliens is a great movie. And
No, don't get me wrong.
but I like
Aliens is
Alien
good, but...
yeah. That's a list for the best sci-fi movie.
Yeah, anyway, that was my logic. If I wanted to include
that's good logic.
an Alien movie, it had to be Alien.
So you felt like, and since Alien is clearly not an action movie,
Yes.
couldn't put it. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was more okay with putting sequels than you. I was like, Aliens, Terminator 2, fine. These are fine.
If I was
Indiana
doing-
Jones 2, fine.
Yeah, if I was doing sequels, I would have had Terminator, Terminator 2, Alien 2, Predator, maybe all 3 Predators.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
No, I really, really like those movies.
Don't do that. Predator 2 is, like, really bad.
It's not, though.
But it really is.
It's not.
Yes,
I
it
like
is.
every Predator movie and every Alien movie.
You like every Alien movie?
Every single Alien movie.
Have you seen all the Alien
Yes,
movies?
even Alien versus Predator.
Have you seen Alien Resurrection?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I like it.
Were you conscious while you watched
Yes, I've seen it a lot of times, actually.
it? Oh, God.
I just can't get enough Alien. I'm happy with any Alien movie, any time. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. That can be. We can talk about Alien. Like, that can be a whole show.
Yeah.
We talk about the Alien franchise. And I can tell you why it sucks ass now.
It
and you
doesn't
can tell me
suck
why it's
ass.
great. And you can tell me why it's like the best.
It's great because it's Alien. It has Alien and Sigourney Weaver in it. That's all I need for a good movie.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a good...
I think Alien Resurrection is better than a lot of other movies. Question mark? I don't know.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's better than a lot of shitty movies.
Okay, maybe it's a bad movie, but I really like it.
All right, that's a good place to leave it, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bad movie, but you like it anyway because it's Alien and it has Ripley in it.
Yep.
And that's it. Fair enough. I guess that's a fair way to put it.
All right, but we did our list. We need to decide on a winner.
So who won? I don't know who won because they're both really good and they're really different lists.
Yes.
Mine is a little more predictable, I feel like, than yours.
Yeah.
Yours is really you have some interesting choices.
I have
in a good way.
I picked. I went for kind of classics, but you did too.
But you peppered in some surprises,
some different ones. Yeah.
Some surprises. Yeah. Like Super Cop. Was not expecting that in there. Not saying it's bad, but it's good. I mean,
yeah. Best stunts in any movie for sure, and that deserves.
It's really good.
That deserves a spot.
Okay, so how are we going to call this? I mean, I really don't know.
I don't know.
Good. Could this be like a tie then?
Okay, your number 1 was Raiders. Your number 2 was
Fury Road, Die Hard.
No, wait.
Road Warrior, Terminator. What? What's wrong?
So it was Raiders, Road Warrior, Die Hard.
No, Raiders, Fury Road, Die Hard, Road Warrior, Terminator 2, Aliens, Temple of Doom, True Lies, Big Trouble in Little China, The Matrix.
Mine was Kill Bill, John Wick, Rambo, Super Cop, Pulp Fiction, Matrix, Speed, Predator, Die Hard, Terminator. They're both good lists.
You did it in reverse. You just said them in reverse.
Yes, I did, just to confuse everybody.
How dare you? It's fine.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. I think we should call it a tie, honestly.
Can there be a tie?
We could... I was going to say we could do rock, paper, scissors.
We can't
That doesn't really work over voice. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, we can just... Okay, go ahead. What were we going to say?
How about this?
Yeah.
We each have to pick an 11th one, and whoever has the best 11th movie wins.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right.
I have to think of an 11th one now, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
I don't know. This is really hard.
I don't have one too. Maybe we shouldn't have done. No, we're doing this.
I have to think about it now, though.
You have to pick an 11th,
God.
and we're not allowed to pick one off the other person's list.
Okay. Yeah. Like it's completely new.
Yeah.
Completely new
like
entry.
you're not allowed to pick the Terminator.
Yeah,
that would be
fair.
cheating.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got mine then.
All right, I think I got one.
What if we pick the same one? That would be amazing.
I don't think we will. Mine.
So I can't pick Terminator, and you can't pick
Raiders.
any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. Yeah, I think I got mine.
I got one.
Okay. Should we say it at the same time?
That won't work.
Okay. Who should say it first then?
You, because it was my idea.
All right. My 11th is Total Recall.
My 11th is The Dark Knight.
Oh. Damn.
I think I beat you.
I think you won on... Yeah. I like Total Recall more than The Dark Knight, but I think The Dark Knight is an objectively better movie, so...
I love Total Recall a whole lot. And I love the source material a whole lot, too. But yeah, I think Dark Knight is the better movie.
Yeah, you win. All right, you win.
Yes, now it's closer.
You win.
I
only
won.
because you cheated with The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
It's an unfair.
Yeah. That was a good movie. All right, so
That's unfair. I mean, you won fair and square, but
I won fair and square, but it's unfair.
so let's just really quickly, because we don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Let's just really quickly say where some of the other movies that were on each other's lists, where they would fall.
Okay.
Kind of on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, you didn't have Aliens, you didn't have Terminator 2, you didn't have any Indiana Jones, you didn't have True Lies.
Okay, I would probably put Aliens in between Speed and Predator, so probably at number 4.
Oh, so you would insert that into your list, into your top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, okay.
And Raiders, I would probably put between The Matrix and Pulp Fiction.
Oh, so you'd insert that into your top 10 as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I realize
so
that
are these movies you just forgot to think about or something?
I didn't consider Raiders for some reason.
Okay, I could see that, I guess.
I forgot about it. And I was thinking that was more of a fantasy adventure movie than an action movie.
I could see that. I could see that.
And what else? I didn't like Fury Road enough to put it above any of those other movies.
Sure.
Mad Max 2 Road Warrior, I did like a whole lot. I just totally forgot about it. I would put that probably ahead of Rambo.
Really? So that would be inserted as well?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a lot of reshuffling.
Yeah, I realize that pushes a lot of mine down and changes my list totally, but...
That's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah, those were
and
the
yet
ones...
you won.
Yeah. It says a lot about my list, doesn't it?
It does. So I'm trying to think of the ones that I didn't have that you had.
Okay, so
Predator.
Yeah,
so I'd
Predator.
probably put Predator. I'd probably shuffle. What I'd probably do is I'd probably put Predator in like at number 9 and push number 9 back. Yeah. Because I really do like Predator. I just completely forgot about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the original Terminator, I really like it, but I still don't think it's an action movie, so I would not put it in my top 10. It is in my top 10 sci-fi movies, though. So there you go.
I think it's an action movie.
Well, if it's an action movie, then it would probably be in my top 5, actually.
Yeah.
If we're considering it.
All right. Let's pretend we're considering it.
Then I'd probably put it at 5, and then Terminator 2 would be 6. Probably.
Nice.
What would happen. I'd just push everything back one. So, yeah.
Any Tarantino movies? Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill?
I don't know if I'd put him in my top 10. I like Pulp Fiction a lot, but I don't think I'd put him in my top 10. Maybe 11 or 12 or something.
What about No Rambo?
No, I mean, I like Rambo, but I don't like it that much.
Yeah, I kind of mostly picked it because it's classic, Rambo.
It's just it's a classic movie. Yeah. Yep. I hear you there. All right. That's fair. Okay, well, I think we're done. You've won the game. Everything's over. You won the game, the first episode of the game. And now you're at...
the current score is...
66, I think, right? 76 to 66.
Only 10 behind.
You're only 10 behind. Next week, you can pull ahead.
Next week will only be worth 1.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right. So, anything we want to say before we end this episode of Doing It Live?
Well, this was our first show. Do you think it went well?
I think it went really well. I think we talked way too much, but I think that's fine because it's good.
Yeah, it's I have a lot of thoughts about action movies, I guess, and so do you.
Yeah, I don't think we thought we had as many thoughts.
Yeah,
I think we do.
I think we thought it would be an easy show, but it
was hard.
Yeah.
So this is good. I like the format. I like the list format a lot.
Yeah, the format
good
worked.
Discussion.
It worked a lot better than our first episode.
So on next episode, you're gonna watch Stranger Things so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see something. I don't remember what it was.
You should see John Wick.
I was gonna see John Wick, and we're gonna talk about that. And I think there was something else we were gonna do. I don't remember. We're gonna do some other show, some other thing that we'll decide next. But those are the 2 homework assignments for both of us.
Yeah.
Now, so all right. So you wanna send it off?
All right, it's time to send it off. My name is
Bat
Snacks.
This has been, and I'm Time Aces, and this has been Doing It Live with Bats and Time, or Time and Bats, or whatever. Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
And I hope you enjoyed the first episode.
All right, see you guys later.
That's all. Goodbye. Goodbye.